New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. A 13-year-old Florida girl has spent more than a week in juvenile detention facility after a classmate pretended to be the bully teen on Instagram and threatened their school. Nia Wims. Family has sued the Renaissance Charter School at Pines near Miami over the episode that resulted in her being detained for at least 11 days. The suit, which also names Instagram and its parent company Meta, aka Facebook, claims that the seventh grader had been bullied in August and requested a meeting with the school officials. But that meeting never happened, and her mother, Leslie Ann Davis, finally pulled Nia out of the school in Pembroke Pines because the bullying continued. In November, a former classmate allegedly created a fake Instagram account using Nia's name and sent herself messages that included threats to harm the school and students and people inside. The ex-classmate, identified as MS, sent the threats to herself and the teacher, who reported the matter to school officials and law enforcement, leading to the facility to be placed on limited lockdown. MS allegedly implicated Nia, who was reportedly arrested on November 19th despite denying sending any threats. She was sent to a juvenile detention center on a felony charge of making a written threat to do bodily harm or to commit an act of terrorism and forced to undergo a psychological evaluation. She spent 11 days in detention before being released on November 29th when investigators determined that MS has sent the threatening messages. Failure to promptly investigate this easily discoverable information by the Pembroke Pines Police Department caused Nia Wims to remain in juvenile detention facility away from her family for 11 days. A judge who dropped the charges told the teen, quote, "Do you have any questions for me? Good luck. I'm really sorry you had to go through this." Nia replied, "It's okay." But her mom stated that the family wants to hold those responsible accountable. Quote, "They need to make sure that they do their homework prior to putting our children in handcuffs and locking them up." That platform was used to frame Nia. Police stated that the family did not cooperate with the probe until December, when Davis provided information that led them to subpoena an IP address connected to the message. But the family stated that they gave investigators the iPad that Nia used to talk to MS the day she was arrested. The other girl has been charged with several crimes, including written threats to harm or do bodily harm and falsifying evidence. Renaissance Charter School told the network in a statement, quote, "Our highest priority remains the safety and security of our students. We always have and always will take all appropriate actions to ensure our students and staff are safe. We are not at liberty to discuss any private student issues, and we do not comment on pending litigation." Meta, the parent company for Instagram, allegedly failed to promptly provide or cooperate with the investigation with officers, which led to a delay in clearing Nia. A Meta rep did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Quote, "It is heartbreaking that everybody thought it was me." Here we go. Yet again. This is another incident of Mean Girls, right? So you got one girl bullying this black girl, right? And the bully decided she, for some odd reason, came up with the brightest idea possible of, hey, let me just sit up there and frame the person that I'm bullying so that I can like really get them in trouble, right? So you basically have another girl who is not getting attention, the bully, I mean, she's not getting attention directly at home. So she is seeking that attention from other people. She obviously does not love herself, because if she did, she would then understand, as I'm just assuming that this is another young black girl, right? Um, or even if it's just another girl in general, within having an understanding of self, you would then also determine that, hey, I know that I'm a woman and I understand in a sense sort of, how we are seen. Or maybe this is something that she should have been taught, right, by other women, strong women in the community. Um and she would have came to the determination of like, yo, this is not something that I want to do, because why would I do something that would in a sense reflect badly on me and also hurt myself? Because while she's doing this to this young girl, she's also hurting herself at the same time, right? Because as a woman, she is subjecting a, I'm sorry, as a young girl, she is subjecting herself to a negative type of stereotype, right? She's doing the whole mean girls thing. She's, further putting some type of negative branding on a young black girl where, if she was fully charged with this and they didn't find out any of this evidence, that young girl would have been forced to be in a juvenile detention center with a whole bunch of other girls who more than likely deserve to be there. They got all types of bad attitudes. They cause all types of fights. They do all types of illegal activities that they should not be doing, right? And like I said before, where are the other family? That whole guardianship over that bully that did this to this young girl, where she was going to receive so many charges. Like, this was going to, in a sense, ruin her life, and she didn't even start her life yet. And this was going to ruin her life. And that bully would have been completely 100% fine with that. And the most interesting thing that people don't realize is that after, let's say, all of this was said and done, and she was that Ania was locked up, that bully would have been bragging about it. She would have had her little circles where she would have been bragging about it and threatening people. It's like, oh, I already got somebody locked up. I can easily get you locked up too. Keep playing with me, right? That'll be how she'll sit up there and put out those threats to other young girls, so that those girls who don't have a strong will, who don't love themselves, who don't have knowledge of self, that they'll sit up there and band around and start following her. Because regardless on however strong she may seem, she's literally the weakest one out of the group. She is. Because if it takes for you to do something like this to a whole other person, you were weak to begin with. Like I said before, all of this is in a sense her trying to find herself and to formulate some type of validation. And the main thing that I've always stated before, that women in the community need to come together, and they need to get with these young girls. These young girls, you can easily sit up there and talk to them, right? Their brains aren't fully formed. They don't really have a plan, set in stone. They don't really have that attitude, right? Where they feel like, I'm invincible. I could do anything that I want to do, all that, rah, 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 all that good stuff, right? You can easily get to those young girls. They're not going to be the ones, in a sense, that's going to try to, strong arm you and automatically try to strong arm and to, fight you and different things like that. You still have a chance to have a positive impact on these young girls. Like I said before, it would be very awesome and very great if a lot of the positive women in these communities would come together and, form a plan to really get towards these women, to these young girls. Um, and the reason that I step on and off saying women is due to the fact that they are making very grown decisions, right? That's something that a woman would do. It's like, yeah, I'm going to formulate this plan to be vindictive to this other woman that I don't like. And the other reason that I say women is due to the fact of this is where this behavior stems from, where a lot of this behavior basically comes from. They don't, in a sense, learn this from, another youngster to another youngster. They're learning this from older women. They're looking at what older women do. They're listening to conversations of older women. But like I said before, when you tell women who are older, like, yo, you need to, mind what you're doing because these young girls are sitting up there watching you. It's like, hey, you get a lot of mouth. People sit up there and tell you, like, oh, don't tell me what to do, what to conversate about, how to go about stuff. Don't tell me how to raise my kids and all that. So since you got people that want to be in that space where you can't tell them anything, but they can tell you stuff, you can't critique them, but they can critique you. This is what happens with those children. They start ending up like this. They start very young doing very criminal and serious behavior. And then it grows from there up until it becomes an unstoppable force where there's nothing that you can literally do. The world is going to have to correct them and catch up to them. Now, like I said to that bully, I'm not exactly sure what's going to take place because it sounds like the family must have a lot of enablers in order for her to feel so comfortable and bold in order to make a counterfeit IG page and to try to simulate messages back and forth between the bully and the person that she's bullying, and then sending that to a teacher and then having that teacher send that directly to the police, which ended up getting the person that she was bullying arrested and charged with a multitude of crimes. Like I said, that takes a lot of thought to get that far, to enact that type of a plan, and to have enough confidence that you know that it's going to work. It's not like she did this like multiple runs and multiple trials. She did a one-shot deal and she got this to happen. That's a problem. That is a very, very, very big problem. And like I said, that's something that I've mentioned before, but like I said, me being a man, nobody really wants to listen because I'm quote unquote the oppressor. So, like I said, the best of luck to any women out there raising daughters. The best of luck to you, because you have a lot of women out here that don't want to listen to men and don't want to heed any type of words of any type of wisdom. In the moment in time that we start talking about stuff like this, we get told to mind our business. So best of luck to you, and best of luck to your daughters, because it's going to be a very tough road with the types of young girls of this caliber, and even worse, that they are going to have to come across and actually deal with throughout their adolescent life into young womanhood up until full-fledged womanhood. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.